Hello everyone! In today's video, we are going to dive into a complex aspect of narcissistic behavior, how the past victims of narcissists often become their perceived enemies. This is a topic that I unfortunately know a lot about, as I have been perceived and targeted as the enemy of my narcissistic abusers, and I know so many of you have been also. So in today's video, we are going to explore the 8 biggest reasons why this happens and what it reveals about the lasting impact of these situations on the victim. But first, if you're new to my channel, I'd like to take a moment and welcome you and invite you to please subscribe and be sure and hit that notification bell because I put out new videos every week. Also, if you are interested in private one-on-one narcissistic abuse recovery coaching with me, please visit my website. It's linked in the description below. So today we are talking about the 8 biggest reasons why past victims of narcissists become viewed as a threat and an enemy of the narcissist, and the lasting impact that that has on the victim and on his or her life. The first compelling reason behind this phenomenon is rooted in the narcissist's insatiable need for control. Narcissists thrive on dominating and manipulating their victims, creating a sense of dependency. And when a victim manages to break free from this web of control, it serves as a profound challenge to the narcissist's authority. The act of liberation, where the victim reclaims their power, becomes a living testament to the narcissist's loss of control. In the eyes of the narcissist, this empowerment is not only a personal attack, but also a tangible reminder of their diminished influence. And because of this, the narcissist will significantly struggle with an inability to accept this loss, and that will provoke him or her to feel deep levels of resentment, triggering them to vilify those who have managed to escape their manipulative grasp. Narcissists are also known for projecting how they think and feel onto other people. And unfortunately, because the narcissist knows what he or she feels towards you and the hatred and betrayal they deeply feel by you leaving the relationship, they believe that you feel the same for them. It feels like an enormous threat to a narcissist, and because of that, they absolutely will view you as an enemy. Next, another reason narcissists view people they were previously in a relationship with as an enemy is because they know you could expose their true nature. Victims who break free from their narcissistic abuser often gain a tremendous amount of clarity about the narcissist's true character. They become witnesses to the manipulation, the constant deceit, and the emotional abuse they endured. The mere existence of these individuals poses a risk to the narcissist's facade, potentially leading to exposure. The narcissist realizes that you have witnessed them on many occasions without their mask, and they are acutely aware that you could destroy their fake and phony facade if you chose to tell people the truth about what you went through with them and the abuse that they subjected you to. Narcissists don't fear anything more than they fear exposure. And if you have endured a relationship with a narcissist, then you know things that the narcissist doesn't want anyone else to ever know about them. And because this knowledge that you have, most times the narcissist will view you as the enemy. And usually that will involve them actively trying to discredit and smear you, hoping to destroy your reputation before you have an opportunity to harm their reputation with the truth. Remember, when a narcissist can no longer control you, they will immediately try to control the way other people view you. That is a universal truth with all narcissists, unfortunately. Next, another big reason that narcissists view people they had previously been in a relationship with as an enemy is because you are now essentially refusing to be a pawn in the narcissist games. Former victims who refuse to be drawn back into the narcissist's web of manipulation become a huge source of frustration, because we have experienced the emotional toll of the narcissistic relationship. We recognize the tactics and refuse to engage. The narcissist is accustomed to playing emotional games with people they have been involved in a relationship with, and they definitely perceive your refusal to play the game as an act of rebellion, and that will foster resentment and animosity in the narcissist and how they view you. Next, another reason this happens is because when the victim ends the relationship, they are essentially asserting their independence from the narcissist, and that threatens the narcissist's ego. Remember, the name of the game for the narcissist is control. They want complete and total control over their victims. Therefore, when you end the relationship with the narcissist, that obviously is a devastating blow to the control they once had over your life. Breaking free from the relationship with the narcissist shatters their control over you, and they cannot tolerate or stomach the idea that someone no longer submits to their influence. And this rejection will lead the narcissist to label you as the enemy. Another major reason the narcissist will view people they were once in a relationship with as the enemy is because they seek validation through victimhood. Narcissists always rewrite history into a narrative that suits them and preserves their fragile ego. So many times when someone ends a relationship with a narcissist, they will immediately construct a narrative that portrays them as the victim. They do this to extract sympathy and to manipulate other people. So when their past victims refuse to accept this narrative, it becomes a direct challenge to the narcissist strategy. Former victims who have broken free are a very real threat of possible exposure, which leaves the narcissist feeling extremely vulnerable and exposed. This threat to their carefully crafted victim narrative triggers the narcissist to feel deep levels of hostility and animosity towards the victim. Next, another very big reason this happens is because narcissists see everything in black or white. They view people as either all good or all bad. There are not ever any shades of gray in their thinking. They see everything in the world in extremes. So when a relationship ends and the narcissist is basically rejected, that causes extreme discomfort and is in direct opposition to their false self and their image of perfection, which is intolerable. So in order to preserve their ego and the false self, they promptly put you, the victim, into the all bad category. Because God knows the reason you left them couldn't be attributed to them and the horrible ways that they've treated you. It must be because you are a horrible and evil person. Another significant factor contributing to this phenomenon is the narcissist's power and superiority complex. This complex manifests in their deep-seated belief that they are inherently entitled to privileges and special treatment not granted to others. Consequently, when a relationship concludes, the former partner becomes a substantial impediment to their perceived greatness. This perception, rooted in an inflated sense of self-importance, always intensifies feelings of animosity as the narcissist perceives the separation as a direct challenge to their perceived superiority. Another prevalent factor contributing to the commonality of viewing ex-partners as enemies is the narcissist's inherent inability to accept rejection. This aspect is a universal trait among narcissists, as they harbor a profound aversion to rejection. The core of this disdain lies in their perception of rejection. Unlike viewing it as a natural aspect of life, narcissists interpret rejection as a deeply personal assault. For narcissists, rejection is not merely a transition experience, but rather a direct assault to their self-worth and grandiose self-image. The very idea of being dismissed or abandoned is perceived as a rejection of their superiority. This skewed interpretation of rejection as a personal attack contributes significantly to the animosity they harbor towards ex-partners. The inability to separate the rejection from their sense of self-worth fuels resentment and a desire for retribution, leading them to cast their former partners as an enemy in an attempt to regain a semblance of control and protect their fragile ego. So now that we have a better understanding of why it is so common for narcissists to view people they once had a relationship with as an enemy, what kind of an impact can this have on the victim? Unfortunately, the victim often grapples with heightened levels of anxiety, self-doubt, and a distorted self-perception. On top of that, the ongoing perception that the victim is an enemy can lead to a pervasive fear of retaliation, causing the victim to live in a constant state of terror. Many times the victim will find it challenging to move on from the toxic relationship, as the narcissist's ongoing animosity can manifest in various forms of harassment, character assassination, or attempts to undermine the victim's personal and professional life. So the lasting impact usually extends far beyond the relationship itself, affecting the victim's ability to trust others, form new connections, and rebuild a healthy sense of self. This is one of the reasons it is so critically important for victims of narcissistic abuse to understand who they have been involved with and the abuse they have been subjected to. Without that knowledge, it's incredibly common for victims to actually buy into the lie and the rewritten version of reality, and to actually question the role they played in the relationship. All right, that's going to do it for today's video. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and please subscribe to my channel. Also, follow me on my other social media platforms. The links are in the description below. Thanks for watching, everyone.